Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen, ladies, just close your eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, Mr. Peebo Bryson, and he's gonna segue us into talking about the hour style money orders. Now, we've already demonstrated to you all a copy of an hour style money order. And that money order, let's go ahead and do this. They don't need to be out there anyway. They need to be in here. These folders. I was opening up this because I needed to see if it was here. I'll be checking in a moment. Give me a moment, everyone. I'm gonna have to, yeah, we'll just open it up, because if it's a private document, I'll have to start the video over again. You guys will never know. So give me a moment. Nope, this ain't it. Alright. Name. And here. And serial number. Okay, just to go ahead and let you guys know, I was driving the other day. That's right, I was driving in my car. Got my foot on the pedal, hands on the steering wheel, well, knees on the steering wheel. I'm kidding, I don't do the knees on the steering wheel, people. But, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who ever get the police saying that you weren't with two hands on the steering wheel, you let them know that I'm sorry, I have a disability. They'll say, what disability do you have? I'm sorry, are you saying that if I have a disability that the law does not recognize individuals with disabilities under the Americans with Disabilities Act? You need to understand, everyone, that if a person with a disability can drive with their knees, and you guys have seen some of the people who've gotten driver's licenses and are able to drive with their feet, the DMV does not have the right to waive the law, to ignore the law. They give them that because of the American Disabilities Act. If a person has only one hand and they ride with that disability, pay attention. Well, they received an endorsement for the DMV. Where in the law does a private corporation give someone an endorsement? You all need to pay attention to what's going on. Okay, now, of course, the next line is, sorry, I am trying to type so fast. Do y'all hear, people? I'm so in love with me. We can't do the actual box. Watch this. I think I might be able to make a box. Don't know. Oh, I'm so into me. Oh yeah, that's how we do the box. Duh. I'm so into me. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, And remember, whenever you do the pay to the order of, it's always okay. That's how that line is. Never ever do it without that line, even on your regular checks. You said checks? That's right, I said checks. I'll show you what to put in the comment section. And Jeffrey and LTD. Yeah. I don't know why I was gonna put loan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you may or may not notice here, this is pretty much the design of a check. With all the bells and whistles and hoopers and hoppins, you have 7 elements. Name, there has to be an independent serial number, its own independent serial number, not duplicated. There has to be a date. Those are 3 elements. Okay, pay to the order of, another element, a courtesy box. This is called a courtesy box. That's called a courtesy date, a courtesy box. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The amount written out. It's a courtesy line. 6. And a signature box. Number 7. There are 7 elements to a check. There's 7 elements to a money order. If I have some words in here lowercase that you, well, that should be upper, then don't worry about it. You just do it the way you do it. Now, I want you all to pay attention. Can't do that one. Give me 1 second. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, some of you are going to do the warrant thing and you're going to look up the wrong information. For instance, you're going to go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia says a warrant of payment. Modern warrants. Warrants are issued for payroll to individual employees, accounts payable to vendors, to local governments, or to taxpayers receiving tax refunds. A warrant issued to a taxpayer? Anyway, pay attention. To recipients of unemployment benefits, and it doesn't matter who they're issued to. Nobody cares about where they're issued. What do we see? Modern warrants, and it says they're issued. We don't care who they're issued to. A warrant differs from a check, as a warrant is not drawn on a checking account. That is not true. Well, technically it's true, but technically it's misleading when a person puts a statement like that who doesn't know how to direct people to the information. So let's find out. Let's go here. The difference between checks and warrants. Let's go here. This is what we want. I feel so real. Lovers come and then lovers go, people. That's, folks say that all the time, but don't they know? They're not there. When you love me, hold me and say you care. Just say you care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the difference. A check is a demand instrument. Demand! Okay, a check is a demand instrument. A check, as we all know, is an instrument that is given between one party to another that represents payment. You see, a check represents a payment. It's as if the payment is already there. That's why it has to be backed by funds. Now, I apologize when I talk sometime and it seems like I'm saying like something is obvious, because I'm assuming that everybody knew these things. And I'm sorry that it's not a matter of study. It's just a matter of, when I was in school and they were teaching us how to write checks, they went over this. So I'm sorry that your school didn't do that. But see, I had something else going for me that the rest of you all didn't. I didn't go to the neighborhood school in my neighborhood. I got bused During the anti-segregation and the desegregation in the 1970s, I was bused to school. So I went to a school in Brentwood. You know where OJ, the whole thing started with OJ, that was in Brentwood. That's where I went to school at, people. And they actually took the time to teach then. And so they taught us about how to write a check. And I'm fourth, fifth grade learning this stuff. Pay attention. The party receiving the check expects that he will be able to immediately transfer whatever it is into liquid assets. Liquidity! Okay? That's why you hear me mentioning the word liquidity, because I understand liquidity. Oh, no, I learned that several years later. But anyway, let's go on. This is accomplished either by depositing the check into his bank account, exchanging the check for cash at a check cashing facility, or endorsing the check and using it as funds to transfer to someone else. Yes, endorsing and say, here, deposit this into your account and this should be taken care of. In other words, we assume a check is as good as cash. That's right. You assume. Until it bounces. Thus, giving the check without the appropriate funds in one's bank account to cover the amount of the check may become a criminal act. Why? Because that's called check fraud. Okay? Now, let's do a warrant. And you don't want to do no more checks when you do the hour style money orders or the closed checking account. Y'all hear me? I said closed checking account. Closed checking account is a warrant. As a matter of fact, if you're going to do a closed checking account, write the word warrant on top of the check. Because the closed checking account is a check. So write the word, even though it's on a closed checking account, even though you understand the definition, write the word warrant on the check. Pay attention. Warrants are similar to check in that they are instruments that represent payment and are usually printed on a form that has the same look as a check. You mean to tell me my eyes are deceiving me? It's an illusion? You better believe it's an illusion. The instrument is an asset to the receiving party, but it is not considered liquid asset. Pay attention. It does not have to be backed by funds because it's not the same as cash. A warrant is a promise to pay, so you can give instructions as to where they can receive their stuff. Okay? Pay attention. A warrant, unlike a check, can be issued without funds in the bank to cover the face amount. As a matter of fact, the practice of using warrants gained popularity during the Great Depression when the government agencies, such as schools, didn't have funds to pay their bills. You see, there was a time when even the government couldn't pay their own bills. So what did they do? They issued promises. They issued hour-style money orders. They created their own money orders, people. Y'all need to pay attention to what's going on. All right, now let's go on. If you receive a warrant for payment, you take the warrant to the bank, and if the issuing agency has funds in its account to cover the face amount of the warrant, you are paid for the warrant. Well, in this case, who is the bank? The issuing agency is us. Then who is the bank for the account where the funds are? Is it not the trust fund with the treasury, or should we be putting the Social Security information on there? Because we all have Social Security accounts. We all know that we have an amount that's paid into Social Security, so let it come out of the Social Security. Y'all know Social Security, okay? If the funds are short, then you hold the warrant until the agency has funds available. See, warrants can be sold or purchased. During the Depression, it became common practice for individuals with money to buy teachers' salary warrants, 85 cents on the dollar. Then the agency would receive their annual tax funds. Those who bought the warrants would redeem them through the treasury. That's why we were telling people on the warrant or on the hour-style money orders to get their back from the treasury. This allowed those with money to make about 15% on a 1 to 6 month notes. The procedures used by banks and issuing agencies are a little more complicated and detailed than this document yes. But ladies and gentlemen, but the principles are the same. Y'all really do need to pay attention. The information is all right here. Okay, watch this so that y'all get it, because I know y'all don't get it. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all hear Mr. Lattimore tell y'all about all I do is for you. That was Kenneth Lattimore. All right, and here's Luther. Now y'all know a house ain't no house if it ain't a home, and a home is not a home if it ain't a house. Y'all know this. Man, y'all should be paying attention. Now, we're going to add a comment because it asks us to add a comment. So we're going to do V. Now, we're going to do something else because I need to show y'all something. No, this one I have to have y'all hold on to. 1 second. Give it 1 second. I had to pull up the equitable redemption document. That's not the document. This is not the document. The other one was the document. This is the document. Okay, you guys know about this document. So let me tell you what we're going to do. And I know some of you guys are trying to copy what's on the screen. Just go back and watch the video again, and then go to the section where the page is up and copy it, because I'm doing this as we talk. Okay? The information is right here. You don't even have to do what I'm doing right now. Look. Watch this. Copy. Okay. You don't have to. You just pull this document off of this equitable remittance coupon that's on the site. It's under the contracts. Under the arbitration. Okay. Watch this. Uh-oh. It ain't letting me. Has a broken heart. We shouldn't have broken hearts, people. If we have broken hearts, that means we ain't living. Because you can't live without a heart. And don't let your heart be broken, because can't nobody repair a broken heart. Not even anybody can mend a broken heart. Al Green done taught y'all that. Okay. Watch this. The above United States government obligation is hereby accepted, acknowledged, and I do assign pledge the total value of obligation to the United States of America through the United States Department of the Treasury to be redeemed for value and receivable at the Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve Bank, and or any member bank or national association prescribed by statute. The Act of March 9, 1933, the Act of March 12, 1933, 12 U.S.C. 401, 18 U.S.C. 8 UCC 1-1033-419. That's the without recourse. And the intentions of the United States Congress concerning the current emergency or serious national emergency, and credited to the grantor's account. Okay? Or a similar statement. You don't have to put all those words. A lot of those words are not even necessary. But this is just letting everybody know, and their grandmama. That's right, people got grandmamas. Okay, people got grandmamas. Okay, so this is letting everybody and their grandmama know, hey, guys, I ain't got time for this. Y'all know that there ain't no money. Y'all know that there ain't no currency. So stop playing this stupid game with me. I don't have time for games. You want to bring a claim against me, a charge against me? Well, guess what? That fool EON already done took care of that. He said, y'all bring whatever charge or claim you want against me because I wrote a warrant. This equitable coupon is a warrant, and it's done in equity. So you cannot charge me with your civil law. You have to do it under equity. And so we're going to talk about how the Treasury has on their website that their stupid Federal Reserve notes are nothing but warrants. That's right. Y'all didn't know? Oh, come on. Okay, watch this. Hold on. Yeah, because y'all, I don't know why y'all don't get it. Y'all need to be getting things. Give me 1 second. We got our warrant thing. That's the end of that. Let's do. I just want to see a dollar bill, y'all. That's all I want to see, so I can prove to y'all that a dollar bill is a warrant. And let's do an image. I'm still in love with me. See, Luther was a man of my own heart. I said dollar bill. I didn't say bill. Do you see the dollar sign? Lord have mercy. And this is Bing that did that. We're just gonna pull this one up right here. We got this character. Is this Andrew? I don't know who this is. I think it is Andrew. That's Andrew, y'all. Andrew Jackson. So let me show y'all something about this so that y'all get it, because let's make it full screen. Alright, so that y'all get it. Uh-oh, get back up here. Alright. Now, pay attention. This is the name of the bank. Pay attention. Name of the bank. And this is the signature, the endorsement signature. Where is it at? Uh-oh, I guess we're going to have to settle for that being the date. This is the serial number. Okay? Y'all get that? Then we have the dollar amount written out. Then we have the courtesy box with the dollar amount. Oh, and then we have the pay to the order of. Where's the pay to the order of? This note is legal tender, good for payment of all debts, public and private. You all need to be paying attention. This is a warrant. Why? Because it is to be taken to the bank, and when it's taken to the bank, what happens? If they have funds available, you get paid. No, that's not what that says. Okay, hold on. Let me do that. Let me do that for you, because some of y'all don't get it. A warrant, unlike a check, can be issued without funds in the bank to cover the face amount. Now hold on, because y'all not getting me. And I'm so sick and tired of people not thinking that I know what I'm talking about. I got people out there trying to say I don't know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention. United States coins and currency, including Federal Reserve notes, circulating notes, and Federal Reserve banks and national banks, are legal tender. Federal Reserve notes are not redeemable in any commodity and receive no backing by anything. This has been the case since 1933. The notes have no value for themselves. They're not checks, people. They are warrants. Remember, a warrant has no value. You can't prove that. Yes, I can. Watch this, because y'all don't be paying attention. So we got to open that window back up so y'all can see it for yourselves, because y'all just don't see nothing. Y'all see what y'all want to see. So let's go right here to make sure that that dollar bill that we just looked at, and I done already explained this to y'all how many years ago? 5, 6 years ago? Watch this. This right here is a dollar bill. Yes, it has S on it, but it's still a dollar bill, because dollar for dollar, all dollars are equal. Because they were never, these Federal Reserve notes were never backed by anything. So let's find out if they meet the definition of a warrant. Now this is forever mine, y'all. This is the O's and the J's coming together. Let's bring the O's and the J's out here. Alright, let's hear for the O's and the J's. Ladies and gentlemen, as a matter of fact, a warrant, unlike a check, can be issued without funds in the bank to cover the face amount. A warrant can be issued without funds in the bank? You mean it doesn't have to be backed by funds? Pay attention so that y'all get it, because y'all don't understand. Federal Reserve notes are not redeemable in any commodity and are not backed by anything. Hold on now. No, because y'all didn't believe me. Y'all didn't understand. There are going to be people out there who are going to be watching this video and they're going to be all snap. And I'm going to be like, but I thought you all knew. So I apologize that I've been doing videos and not explaining everything, because I'm thinking people know everything. I'm sorry that some of you have not taken the time to listen to the entire video, because the information has been there. Now, I want you to understand, Warrants are similar to checks in that they are instruments that represent payment. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to Andrew. This note is legal tender. Now, you notice most bills, and let's see, I have one of these in my back pocket. So let me pull out the one I have in my back pocket. I want to see what it says. No, this one doesn't say for the payment of all debts, but you guys know this note is legal tender for the payment of all debts. Okay, so it don't say for the payment of all debts anymore. It just says for all debts. Ladies and gentlemen, they're warrants. You really do need to pay attention. That's all they are. Now, hold on. Let's do that. We're here. I just need this phrase here. This notice legal tender good for the payment of all debts. Okay, I don't need this notice legal tender. I need the one that says this notice legal tender good for the payment of all debts. But it's okay because they at one time had the statement where it says good for the payment of all debts. And that's why I was telling people, then you use $1 bill to pay all your debts. Okay, they didn't like that. When people were doing that, they couldn't stand that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have found out that they don't like the bracket thing anymore. You used to be able to do the bracket thing and get exactly what you were looking for. Like I put that bracket and you know I got the same thing I got before. Debt payment in pennies. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, if the dollar bills were actual money, if they were actually backed by something, pay attention now, then the banks could not refuse them. But you guys have heard in recent years the banks refuse cash money, dollar bills. Okay, that they refuse dollar bills. Why? What gives them the right to do that? Because they're not backed by anything. They don't have to accept that junk. If they were backed by gold, they would have no other choice but to accept them. I know, people not paying attention. Yeah, I can't find the good for the payment of all debts. People don't send it to me. I don't need it. It ain't that important. I'm just trying to show you that they were warrants from the very beginning. It has never been different. They were always warrants. Okay, that's why. Okay, God, look, let me prove it to you in a different light, because many of you definitely not getting it. And let me show you why you're not getting it. Sorry, I wanted to look one more time. Well, I thought you said it wasn't important. It ain't important to y'all, but it is one of those things that I want to get that good for the payment of all debts. I wanted to get that issue taken there. So why? Let's do this right there. Tick tack. And let's do that right there. We just want to do the good for the payment. Nope, can't find my good. Nope. So we're going to have to just live with it, the fact that I can't find it right now. Let me show y'all something so y'all get it, because y'all don't understand. Warrants are similar to checks in that they are instruments that represent payment and are usually printed in the form the same look as a check. The instrument is an asset to the receiving party, but it's not considered liquid assets. Ladies and gentlemen, the dollar bill has no value. The Treasury says it on their own website. It has no value. It's not a liquid asset. Okay, the notes have, they're not redeemable. You cannot redeem it in any commodity. They receive no backing by anything. And pay attention, this has been the case since 1933. Hold on, because y'all not there yet. I know, I can see the look in your faces right now. You're still not getting it. Focus on that this has been the case since 1933. As a matter of fact, the practice of using warrants gained its popularity during the Great Depression, 1933, when government agencies such as the Treasury, such as schools, the Treasury didn't have funds to pay their bills. The Treasury. If you received a warrant for payment, you take it to the bank of the issuing agency. If you don't think these courts are doing 1099 OIDs when they issue their warrants, but the word warrant is in the Constitution, you better believe it is. A person has to pay their debt to society. It's always been a commercial issue. Oh my God. Don't take my word for it. Go and do your research, people. So, we have people who have been getting arrested because they've been doing the hour style money orders. We told you about Mr. Gordon. Mr. Gordon Hall. How he got arrested because he used a money order, but he had the routing numbers on the bottom. That don't make a difference. A money order is a warrant. It can't be fraudulent because it is not required to be backed by assets on account. He wasn't making it to look like anything from the Treasury. Anybody can write a warrant. The Treasury doesn't hold the patent to warrants. You all need to, if you're going to mess with the beast, you need to understand what the beast does so that when you mess with it, it doesn't consider it as offensive because you're using the same things the beast used to play, you play. So that when it's sitting up there playing, you ain't disturbing it. You can't do like I do. I done told y'all, I done written these for 480 trillion, 680 trillion, 20 billion. Put it into a case that they brought against me. If you don't believe, if you don't understand, then just go to Puerto Rico, put the name in, and pull the records. Because the money orders are in there, including the one I wrote at the arraignment that was for $2 million. $2 million, that's right, $2 million. Why do you think they came at me in Puerto Rico in the first place? I sent the Treasury 5 money orders for $680 trillion. I did that in 2012. Do you think anybody came at me for writing a fake instrument, fraudulent instrument? Man, I'd be doing a billion years right now with all the instruments I wrote. I told you I've written more money orders than anybody else on this planet. I know that for a fact. Because I've just been writing them to prove to everybody that anybody and their grandmama can write a money order. Now, the unique thing about this, pay attention so that you guys get it. This is to be redeemed via the United States Treasury. See? Credit by a non-taxpayer at par. We're issuing certified funds in credit. Well, certified credit. Because we're on a credit-based system. There is no money. I ain't got to say no HDR 190 85 billion. There ain't no money. I ain't got to prove that. Prove to me that there is money. Especially when in this very same instrument, ladies and gentlemen, what do? We highlight the fact that the Treasury says there is no money. All they issue to us is legal tender, which has no value. It's a warrant, people. It has no value. It's not backed by any funds. It is not liquidity. It's not liquid assets. We just had forever mine and went forever somebody else's because it ain't playing no more. And that's YouTube. Well, some actual web pages want you to be on the site when it switches. People Bryson and Regina Bell. A whole new world. Okay, well, Disney ain't gonna like me playing the music for their Aladdin movie, the previous Aladdin movie, especially when the new Aladdin movie is getting ready to come out. And so, oh well, this video won't be up very much longer. All right, all right, all right. I won't do it. I'll have to skip the people Bryson. I'll go to this people Bryson because I do loves me people Bryson because people Bryson can sign, y'all, and can nobody say he can't. All right. The Treasury knows there's no money. F the courts, people. Forget the courts. You don't have to argue with no stupid judge. When the court says, did you do such and such, such and such? I mean, and you just simply ask them the question. Are you saying I don't have the right to do such and such, such and such if I chose to do such and such, such and such? If the court says you are charged with such and such, such and such, a charge? What's a charge? Well, it's a blah, 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 blah. Wait, are you saying that this is a constitutionally recognized venue under the judicial branch of government? No, I just need you to say it on the record. Well, we're not here. No, excuse me. I have the right to know where I am. So are you saying this is the judicial branch of government venue? Please say it on the record. I just want to hear it. Then we can move on. Because if you're not part of the judicial branch of government and you're part of that executive branch, you ain't got no authority here. The executive branch don't have no authority to be trying nobody. I ain't consent to that. I need to be before the judicial branch of government. That's where the courts are held according to the Constitution. So are you saying you part of the judicial branch of government? Well, then if you ain't, then I think you need to be shutting up because you're perpetrating a fraud. You're impersonating the judicial branch of government. You can't do that, even if you're the executive branch of government. Ooh, that's treason. I think they call it high treason. Now look, don't y'all go into court saying that, okay? Because if you don't know how to come back with what they come back with, then you're gonna be stuck because you don't know what to do next. You have to anticipate the entire conversation throughout your entire mind. Okay, you have to anticipate the entire conversation. Now pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. With this information right here, with this document, we have done our proof of claims. Each one of these is a proof of claim. Each one of these cases are cases where the United States says that the contracts with the United States government, every time you use one of them legal tenders, you're entering into a contract with the United States government. And the United States government has promised to pay. How do we know that the promissory notes, known as legal tenders, are promises to pay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, do yourselves a favor. When you get a chance, we want you to go take a look at one thing. What's that one thing? Ladies and gentlemen, we need you to take a look at 12 USC 411. See right here, 12 USC 411? The notes are to be redeemed at the Treasury. Okay? That's a contract. That they shall not be redeemed at the Treasury Department of the United States or the Federal Reserve Banks, 12 USC 401. Issuance of to reserve banks, nature of obligation, redemption. Ladies and gentlemen, are you telling me I don't have the right to redeem this? Oh, well then what's my remedy? Hold on, so that y'all get it. Look, y'all need to understand, I'm not just putting documents together just to be putting documents together. So the remedy provided by government for discharging government obligations is 12 USC 401, and I elect to use such a remedy. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Tell me I don't have the right to do this. Tell me that the government has not provided me a remedy. Well, now I don't want to hear it. That means that there are no more debts. I don't know a single thing to anybody else. Y'all need to leave me alone. These conversations they won't have with me. I've been begging them. I'm on video right now saying I have been egging them on to have this conversation. Why do you think I sent those 5 money orders for $680 trillion, put several $680 trillion money orders into my case? I even sent a $420 trillion money order in my case, several of them, and then a $20 trillion money order into the case, a $20 billion money order in the case, a $4 billion money order in the case. ladies and gentlemen, I just kept putting it into the case, incorporating them into documents, having them sent to me. Frances, she was my partner in getting their attention. She would print it up for me, send it to me. I'd sign it and send it into the court and attach it to motions. And I had several copies on bond paper that we were putting into the case, one after the other. And this was a so-called federal court. And they ain't said a word. Ain't never brought it up. Ain't never made it an issue because they knew I wanted to make it an issue. Let's get this thing out in the open. Let's get it settled. Let's get it done. And they would not allow it to this day. But then they take Gordon Hall and they arrest him and they charge him because they knew he didn't know all of the particulars. And the other thing is he had an attorney. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't go after whatever they're charging anybody with. Forget the charge. I don't focus on the charge. That's a distraction. No, I focus on making them prove their case. They are saying that they have jurisdiction over me. So let's prove it. I attack their stupid evidence. I don't argue all of that stuff that everybody else is arguing. That's a distraction. That's what they want you to do. We'll talk another time. I'll tell you about how I don't allow them. Now, you guys are not me. A lot of you are going to want to go in there and say the stuff I'm saying. You need to do your research. You can't just be going in there saying what I'm saying. But I'm letting you know right now, that's why we call this an equitable remittance coupon. They cannot call this a check. But if they want to call it a check, you say, oh no, this is a warrant. This falls under the exact definition of what a warrant is. If you've ever been charged with a false or fake check under issuing, what is that stupid thing called? Dag nabbit, the closed checking account. Okay, I don't even know what happened to David and Nina. Okay, I don't know what happened to them, but they were 100% on the money. They just didn't do the research on warrant, and they didn't know all of the particulars, but they were right. Okay, they were right. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I've invited them to come after me, and they're coming at me sideways. I'm okay. I can handle their sideways. I'm not going to stop. They're not going to stop me. Why? Because if I'm in the right, I don't need to stop. Now, mind you, I tell all of you, I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses. That's right, I said that. But as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I must obey Caesar's law. I am commanded to do so. I'm not violating anybody's law. There was no law against any of the stuff that I do. My thing is, I am tired of them trying to tell other people that they must do this, they have to do that. You guys don't understand. Those are only offers. There is no law requiring that you do this, requiring that you do that. They're just making an offer to you, and you are entering into contracts by entering into their arena. They are trying to force you to enter a plea. You need to understand, the moment you enter a plea, when you go into their arena, you are submitting to their jurisdiction. Look up the word submission. You submit to, pay attention, deities. Do they not bring you before justice? Do they not force you to kneel before Zod? Kneel before justice by submitting to justice? You need to find out who justice is. Did several videos telling you guys who their justice is, and they call it the system of justice, bringing someone to justice. Julian Assange will be brought to justice. He will be answerable to justice. Well, who is this justice? She's a false god. They worship a false god. Look up the motto for the Department of Justice. He who serves the goddess justice. It's pagan religion. So I tell them, you cannot force me to participate in interfaith. You cannot violate my right to practice religion. They've never ever responded to that. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't practice interfaith. I'm prohibited by my God from practicing interfaith. I cannot serve another God. I can only serve the true God, Jehovah. Don't none of you guys sit up there and say your God is the true God. There's only one God who's ever called himself the true God. No other God has ever called themselves the true God. I don't care if you serve Allah. I don't care if you serve Baal. I don't care if you serve Ishtar. It doesn't matter which God you claim to serve. Your God has never held the status of being almighty and claiming and attesting and swearing that they're the true God. But my God has. My God has sworn an oath as to his position and who he is. Your God has never sworn an oath. Go ahead, take a look. Go back and look at the history of the God you serve and see he's never sworn an oath. Even the so-called Trinity God has never sworn an oath to being the Almighty God. No, the Trinity God claims to be three different gods, having not only the ability of being almighty, being mighty, and being a spirit, but never the almighty and true God. I'm just telling you the way it is, and if you don't like it, hey, not my fault. Gotta go, people. Just wanted to bring this information to you so that you will understand what a our style money order has been from the very beginning and why they worked, because they understood what they were at the beginning, and then they started getting technical. So now get technical back. How do I get technical back? You go back and watch the beginning of the video, because I explained it to y'all when I gave y'all this right here. The whole video was explaining how you are getting technical back. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it from the beginning because I still don't understand what you're talking about. I mean, I see you keep highlighting that word, but that don't mean nothing to me. I mean, it just, I need to know how to get just as technical as they are getting technical. I mean, you know, but why are you highlighting that stuff? That don't mean nothing. That don't tell me how to get technical with them. You sit up there and tell me I need to know what I'm doing, but you won't tell me what I need to do. You say we need to do our money orders like this, and we need to put certain information in there, letting them know that we know the game, and that the goose is cooked, and you know the jig is up and all that, but you ain't telling us exactly what we need to do. And then you say that we do the thing, you say warrant, and then you say we need to tell them what to do with the warrant. Okay, well, what do we tell them what to do? Why you keep highlighting that stuff? That don't make no sense to me. That don't make no sense. You just highlighting stuff, but you're not saying nothing. You gotta come on, please give me some more information. I don't know what to do. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a very good day. Have a very good evening. Have a very good life. Have a very good night. Whatever it is, keep it good, people. Adios.